Hello and welcome. Chris from Missouri here, bringing you another video. But this time, I'm not doing a video about baseball cards. See, for the last 8 days, I've been gone on vacation to the eastern part of Kentucky to visit some relatives and to kind of connect with my past. And I've been kind of off the grid. No Wi-Fi, I couldn't talk hardly to anybody. And so when I get home, to my amazement, when I left, I saw that Dawn had made a video wanting to show some pictures of our younger days to kind of embarrass ourselves a little bit, maybe show us as, a picture of us playing a sport at a young age, maybe even, Little League age or American Legion age. And he kind of called me out a little bit, but that didn't really bother me too much. But as I'm watching other videos, there's this guy out there named Legends Never Die, and you probably don't know it because nobody watches his channel anyway, and the ones that do are just trying to hope they're going to get in the YouTube Hall of Fame because this guy's the commissioner. But he has the audacity to call a friend of mine, Theo Clemente Collector, out, telling him about how he made a full court shot, and then he called me out, and he said, basically saying there's no athletic ability in this old body of mine. And what's funny is he said he couldn't show any pictures because his pops or pawpaw or whatever he calls him in that neck of the woods had all his pictures and stuff under lock and key. Well, I figured the reason he has them under lock and key is he doesn't really want any of Jake's friends to see any of those pictures. I understand. I think there's a picture of Jay winning back-to-back T-ball MVPs in his league, and he got pictures of him holding the trophy, and that's his when he was 17 and 18 years old. T-ball MVPs, nothing not to brag about, and I don't blame him. But Jake shows videos now, and it cracks me up because he's talking to Theo, and he goes, "I made a full court shot in a game," and then he talks to me about he kind of makes fun of me about playing softball, and I'll get to that in a second. But if you go to his video, you'll see that he did make a full court shot in a game. But that game, it must have been a church league, church league make Jake feel good kind of game, because Jake pulls a rebound down. And now who in their right mind who knows Jake thinks that Jake was able to pull a rebound down, period? I mean, he can barely reach the doorknob to turn it to go in somebody's room, but yet he comes down with this rebound. He throws it the full length of the floor. Well, the full length of the floor, it looks like he's playing on a pickleball court, and maybe 50 feet. And I don't even know how big the basketball is, but he does throw it, and it does go in a game. So I guess that really counts. So that makes you the MVP of your church league team, because if you're the youth pastor, they want you to do good, so they'll allow you to do things. Just think about that, Jake. And then you do a video of you playing slow pitch softball. Now say that really slow. Slow pitch softball. A lot of people here, a lot of people in this community has played slow pitch softball, but they don't really brag about it. See, it's kind of embarrassing. I would rather, and excuse me on this, Pastor Jake, but I'd rather my dad said this to me, and my dad was a pastor. He said, "Chris, I'd rather have a daughter who's a prostitute than a son that played slow pitch softball." And I got it. And so I did play slow pitch softball one time, but I put a disguise on, and nobody knew it was me because again, if you're bragging about your athletic excellence playing slow pitch softball, you didn't even hit it out of the park. You ran around really fast. So that is really cool. But if you were a true athlete, you wouldn't have had to run so fast. I would have hit it. Don would have hit it. Theo would have hit it. And it would have been, we'd have walked around and laughed at everybody that was taking it serious. They'd had to climb the fence to get mine. So what I'm going to do here, since Jake did this, I'm going to show a few pictures and maybe call somebody else out like Jake called me out. But here you go. So Don, I believe, wanted us to show some pictures of us little. So there's my first one. And so I'm going to show you a little league picture that I have. So look at this. Now, I'm number 43, but so is everybody. But I am this guy right here. Look at that intensity on the face. Now, our team was probably getting ready to play Jake's team, but Jake was like 17 at the time, and we wouldn't have played T-ball because we were pretty tough. Now, here's a group that grew a little bit older. Now see, I'm right there kneeling right by that trophy there. And that's what you call a trophy, Jake. You probably get them now because of participation awards and that kind of stuff. But, you know, we had to play for them. Now this is what you call a picture of 3 All-Stars. And I'm the one right here where my thumb is. And look at that confidence that's just eking out of me there, Jake. And that's on an all-star team. And Jake, that's what happens when when you're good enough that you make an all-star team. And then if you move on to college and stuff, Jake, and I love this picture here. I wish that Scott Reindeer Studios could blow this up in his mind and make me about 2 of these. But the guy with the back to you is me, and I'm telling one of those flaky pitchers what to do. And and that's a picture of me playing a sport, and it's not slow pitch softball. And since you had a video of you in a game, I thought I'd show you 2 pictures. Now look at this number 12 here, flying high and shooting the basketball over top of defenders. I pulled that rebound down, Jake, and I put it right back up. And that's during a game. And look at that crowd, Jake. I know you probably don't get those at the church league basketball games. And last but not least, I want to show you this picture right here. Now over here is me, and we're playing against it looks like Don Field of Dreams. If you take it back in the day, we probably traveled up there to play them a high school game. And that's one of my favorite pictures that I have. I don't have very many. So last but not least, wait a second, I'm going to turn this around. So this has been fun, and Jake's fun. It gets everybody riled up, and that's good. And I kind of had fun trying to find a couple of these pictures. But I want to get Mike, baseball collector. If he's had about the best baseball card collecting year that you possibly can. He's when you end up getting 2 things called a find, like a basement find or a grail find, and you get to do a video. Well, listen, I'm gonna call him out. I'd like to see him show a couple of videos. He'll probably get Scott to paint some fake stuff up, because he talks about it. But when I first got on YouTube and saw it, he'd always talk about his golf game and stuff. And I want to show Mike this. So Mike, this is one of my 2 holes in one, and it's signed there. And look at that score. I mean, and again, did I say this is 1 of 2? So I appreciate Don doing this video. I appreciate Jake getting everybody riled up. And so I want to see one of Theo, and I want to see one of some other guys too. I thought it was a great idea. And so, baseball collector, you've had too much good stuff happen. Look at that hole in one. And if you want me to bring it Strongsville so you can put it up on your wall, I'll do it. So guys, remember, have fun, and remember, it's just a hobby. Collect what you like.